what's up everybody? It's Lance again, and today I'm coming at you with another movie review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the newest Guillermo del Toro picture, The Shape of Water.
This may very well be the most sensitive asset ever to be housed in this facility.
You may think that thing looks human. Stands on two legs, right? But we're created in the Lord's image. You don't think that's what the Lord looks like, do you?
This creature is intelligent, capable of language, of understanding emotions.
The film stars Sally Hawkins, Richard Jenkins, Michael Stuhlberg, Michael Shannon, and Octavia Spencer. And I have to say that this film is super well made. It is very much a treat to see. One of the best displays of cinematography and production design you'll see all year. From a technical standpoint, it's almost near perfection. Everybody's good in their role. Sally Hawkins plays a mute woman in the 1950s working at this factory that's used by the government to almost like hold experiments. This is set during the whole Cold War era when there was this tension between America and Russia, and it's a great Cold War film at its core as well as being fantasy. Doug Jones plays the sea creature that they have just like in this facility, and she befriends him even though she can't talk, she can't speak. It takes a liking to her. They have like the little backs and forth, and it's really cute and admirable, and I like how Guillermo del Toro captured the relationship between them. Richard Jenkins plays this character who's gay and who's living with Sally Hawkins' character. He's just this guy who is just trying to get his life back because it's insinuated that he had like some sort of outbreak before and he lost his job. But he's an artist and he draws, he makes advertisements, and he does all these things. And they live together, so they have like a nice little cute bond as well. Octavia Spencer plays one of the co-workers of Sally Hawkins' character, and she's really good as well. I really liked her performance in here. She just delivers every time she's on screen because she's just a really good actress. Michael Shannon, he's great. He's always good. He plays kind of like the typecasted bad guy, just really bad. His character doesn't really have like much of an arc. They kind of show a little bit of his home life, and it just further establishes how bad of a person he is. He's just playing this really bad character, and that's maybe a problem for some people, but at the end of the day, it's Michael Shannon and he's just amazing. So, you know, maybe people should give it a pass for that, but maybe that's something that people might have a little bit of an issue with, that he's playing this character that he's been playing throughout his entire career. It's a very touching movie. If there's any problems with it, it might be the fact that it's a little bit too predictable. There's some things that I predicted that were happening in the film when it happened, and it's one of those movies because, like, you know, Guillermo del Toro, he's a very non-conventional filmmaker, but then he could be a very conventional filmmaker at the same time. So what I mean by that is that, like, sure, he'll incorporate fantasy, sci-fi, and all of like these mystical elements into a film, but usually, like, not in all of his films, but a lot of the time it's a little bit straightforward, or just not straightforward to the point where you just like don't know what's happening. It's maybe a little bit convoluted. Still one of the best filmmakers working today. Pan's Labyrinth is one of my favorite films of all time, especially foreign language films of all time. I actually own it on Blu-ray. It's one of the best films ever made. This film actually reminds me a lot of that movie. I think it's going to get a lot of attention at the Oscars this year. I think Sally Hawkins might get nominated for Best Actress, and Guillermo del Toro might actually get nominated and hopefully like be heavily considered for Best Director. If there's any problem with the movie, like I said, Michael Shannon's a little bit more of like a typecasted bad guy, and there's not really much of an arc to him, and there's not a lot of whole bunch of like weight to it because maybe it's a little bit predictable. But you kind of damned if you do, you damned if you don't. I always like to say that sometimes a film is not too predictable, then it might suffer, or if it's too predictable, it might suffer. It's like one of those things where you're like kind of like throwing up a coin and seeing where it lands. It's not one of those things that it's just always predictable is bad, but it's just one of those things where it is kind of predictable and you kind of understand where it's going when it does. I definitely give it a solid 8.5. It is a very, very, very well made film, and I think you guys should definitely check it out. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I'm going to talk to you guys later for my next movie review. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.